Morning. Well, almost morning. Just about morning, I should say. Just taking all my washing in. Sorted out a few things indoors. My computer's on the fritz, so when I'll get this uploaded, I have no idea. I've got one in there trying to upload at the minute from yesterday, and we shall see. A friend of mine got me some large wet wipes, and I thought they'd come in handy for sales later once they've dried out a bit. Smaller wet wipes will do exactly the same, because I'm going to cut quite a bit down out of this. But look at that, look at the size of that wet wipe. Yeah, for a manly sized ass. But hey, there you go. So, what can I tell you? Over the weekend, I tried to get the trike running. No success. I thought at one point I might have had the timing 180 degrees out. Tried that. Not happening. Not playing the game. I've had the carbs apart, and all the jets are clear. It's feeding. I've got a spark. She's just being obstinate. So I'll get back on her next weekend if the weather's nice. But for now, I'm back in here, back in my little workshop, in my man cave, or my den, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm just looking out the window at the beautiful blossom on my trees at the minute. I'm hoping that all comes to fruit, and we get a bumper harvest this year. Without saying that, the last couple of years when we've had a bumper harvest, I've ended up giving away, packing up bags of fruit and walking up and down the street, knocking on doors, going, have a bag of fruit. Because I'd rather do that than let it go to waste. But hey, there you go. When I left you last time, I hadn't quite started on this, but look, I've started squaring off some bits. I've got this little fella here to do. I'm going to put 3 spars in there. Put some spars in there. Straightforward. All I did was, going back to our old square skewers. Little square skewers. I've been using these to make it up, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a fun project. It's make out of whatever you can. I mean, you can use matchsticks to do exactly the same job. This is a little bit thicker than a normal matchstick, but you can use matchsticks to do the same job. Matter of fact, I shall show you that now. I like this stuff because it's bamboo, and it doesn't, when you cut it, it doesn't split as much as matchsticks do. If I show you by taking a matchstick out what I mean, and you watch, it won't split now. You can see the difference between a matchstick and these. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you. When you cut a matchstick, see if we can get them to right size. When you cut a matchstick and you put it through, do you know what? Made a liar out of myself. Look at that. That's a perfect cut. Not a split on it. But this is a bit long, so yeah, literally. So yeah, you can use matchsticks. Look at that. They're just smaller, that's all. And they'll do the job. And what I'll do is I'll cut a few of them now. So that when it comes to gluing them, I can glue them in situ together. I'm not even going to bother trying to pick that fella up. Last time I bent down like that, I really hurt myself, so it's not going to happen. Let's see if I can angle it in and maybe not lose it. Look at that. Shoot it at the boat, Jeff, you'll be fine. So yeah. So how have you been? Did you have a good weekend? I hope you did. I hope you stayed in, or at least stayed in the garden, and I hope you practiced your social distancing. Yeah. I am seriously missing all the hugs that I used to get at this time of year right now, but you know, things being what they are, got to do what you got to do, haven't you? Because anything else is just bloody madness. And there are a few mad people around here, I have to say. Thankfully, not on my street, which is nice. Although I have seen teenagers gathering, like, you know, this won't affect them, but it might not, but it will affect any of their older relatives that they visit, or anyone in their home that has an issue. So I seem to think that, and of course that will affect how many staff we've got per patient, if we've got any staff per patient. Shout out to my friends that are in the nursing profession right now. Fantastic job you're doing. I wish there was more I could do to help, apart from sitting indoors doing nothing or doing this, but I'm in the highly at risk category, unfortunately, for me, because otherwise I'd be out there. There's nothing worse than feeling like you can't do anything. There's nothing worse than feeling useless. But I'd rather feel useless than be the cause of somebody else getting hurt. So there we go. I mean, you know, we've got to be what we've got to be right now. Sensible. Yes? But as they say, common sense is in high demand and short supply. You can just hear out there, that's not my fire. That is an aircraft going over the top. I don't know what aircraft it is, but it's an aircraft going over the top. So somebody's out flying. I'm hoping it's a cargo plane and not a passenger plane, to be quite honest. But I don't know. I'm not going out to look because I'm doing this today. So yeah, so there we go. I've put some spars in, quite simple. Yeah, okay. And they're the steps I made out of the corrugated cardboard that I had laying around. Okay, so I've got most of my deck furniture on. Oh, excuse me. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my railings around it, because you've got to have railings, haven't you? Which is another reason these round sticks come in handy. So my plan is this. So in order to do this correctly, I am putting spars in, just like that. My plan being that when it comes down to it, I think what I'll do is put my spars on, and try and cut them in situ, but that's not going to work, I don't think. No, it's not going to work. Okay, plan B. I'm not going to go with spars. Leave it there because you've stuck nicely. I will cut another one about your size for the opposite side. Once I've got this off. No, that's really good. So, there we go. Like that. And that'll be my outward spar here. Because, you know, symmetry and all that as best you can. Yeah, why not? So yeah, I have some spars to put on. I think, I don't know what will be better. I don't know whether I should cut them out of a strip of card, which I could do, or I could use matchsticks or something, just in a row, and then use the old coffee stirrers as my railings, you know, as the tops. Should look good, wouldn't it? I think so. Yeah, I think that's the way I'll go. So, shall I use round or shall I use square? Shall I cut it out? Do you know, I might have lost as what I want to do with this one. No, I think I'm going to go with matchsticks, just for good measure. I haven't got a big flask today. Made a cup of me best ever dad mug. I'm not sure how good that sentiment is, but you know, it's quite a thing to live up to be quite honest. But hey, it is what it is. I think I've been an adequate dad, but that is another question altogether. You will have to ask my children. Ha. Yeah, so my plan being, do you know, I don't even know. Like I said before, I like stuff that grows organically, and I do work haphazardly, and I never do sort of the same piece of work twice if I can help it, because I don't like repetition, to be quite honest. I have done repetitious jobs in the past where I've cast things or I've done or made things, but to be quite honest, I'm not a big lover of repetition. I'm not a big lover of. I worked in a foundry years and years ago, and a lot of the jobs, they were repetitive jobs. You got a board with a pattern on it, and the board would come in like well, basically it was what it says. It was a board. It'd have half patterns on it, and on the other side it'd have half patterns on it, and you'd put it onto a moulding box, and you'd fill it with sand, and you'd ram it flat. you turn it over, you fill the other side with sand, you ram that flat, you take the boxes off, you take the board out, put the boxes back together, it leaves holes, you pour metal into it, you got castings. That's pretty much it. Basically I built sandcastles for a living, which was brilliant. I loved it until I done my back in, which was another story altogether. But anyway, I used to work in a foundry years and years ago, and yeah, and the job was repetitive. You'd have 1,000 off of a thing to make, and that's what you'd do. You'd fill the same box with sand 1,000 times. Well, 2,000 if it was 1,000 off, or if there was 2 or 3 or 4 of them in the box, you only had to do 250 of them. But it doesn't sound any easier, does it? And anyone who has to do a repetitive job, a constant same thing, day in day out job, it's bloody boring, and it gets monotonous. But then saying that, you know, you make the best of it with the people that are around you, the camaraderie that's from the people that are around you. If you had that, you were rocking. And you know, it made the day go that little bit quicker. But yeah, and a lot of the jobs I did were on piecework, which meant that I got paid for what I made, which meant I better make a bloody good casting, otherwise I weren't getting paid. But it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed working for all the foundries I did work for, and right up until I did my back in, yeah, I didn't realise how lucky I was in the game I was in. I was a moulder claw maker, and I was a green sand moulder, and if I do say something so myself, I was pretty good at my job. But yeah, things change, and if I miss anything, I do miss that. I don't regret moving away from it, but I do miss it. Hence the reason that occasionally I do castings of my own at home. And I'll show you that. I'll probably make a vid about it. I've already tried a couple of times. The first videos on this channel. Oh my god, they're bad. But anyway, there you go. But yeah, I used to work in a foundry, and my job was pretty self-explanatory, to be quite honest. I made sandcastles for a living, and then poured metal into them, and castings came out as a result. And some of the moulds were huge, and some of the moulds were small, but they were all good fun, honestly. And they were good times. I used to work in, well, I worked from Eltham to Greenwich to Woolwich, all the foundries up the Thames. I even worked for Stone Vickers for a while, which was a big concern back in the day. No longer there, unfortunately. Foundry game is no longer a game, really. I think there are still a few going, but those that are few and far between. Now there'd be an industry to get back into. Plastics took most of the work from foundries, believe it or not. Plastic replaced metal in components in cars and in everything from door locks to knockers to all those type of things, you know. And of course the old brassware that you used to get years and years ago, that's a lot of that went to plastics because it was cheaper. It was cheaper to produce. It was cheaper to knock out. There was less wastage. And now we've come to a stage in life where the plastics are taking over everything, aren't they? And causing loads of pollution and stuff. So yeah. If you'd have had a metal, although metal causes its own pollutions, but yeah, you see where I'm going with that one. So yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah, So yeah, I'm hoping that foundries make a comeback, because it really do need to. To be quite honest, we really do need to. So here I am in my den playing with matchsticks. Don't even go there. So anyway, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip, I don't know, you know, do I want to clip a load of them? Do I want to clip a load of them? No, I'll clip a load of these, because most people will have matchsticks. Well, some people will have matchsticks. Anyone who uses matches will have matchsticks as that. If you haven't got matchsticks, you can use skewers. If you haven't got skewers, you can use toothpicks. If you haven't got toothpicks, you can use sausage picks. What's it? Sausage roll sticks. Yeah. And they'll all do this same job that I'm about to do, which is make a mess. But no. My plan being, I need to put in place some uprights. So I'll give you a second, and then now what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use the depth of that edge, that depth rested on the deck, to cut them, to give me an idea of the size of my sticks. But in order to do this, I think we're going to need something that stops them flying across the table. So here we go. This is my trick. And it worked. I don't believe it, but it did. So yeah, here's a neat little trick. Get yourself a wet wipe when you're cutting these with this type of thing. Get yourself a wet wipe, and you will find that your little bits of stick that you're cutting off that you don't want to lose, I better keep that handy. Go in the fire later. And you don't fire them across your room. And of course, you can get them all roughly the same size just by resting the secateurs flat when you cut them. That's that. Look at that. That's lovely, that is. So I've got a few, and using my few, I'm just gonna start placing them on here. So yeah, I was a foundryman. I started working years and years ago at a little foundry in Woolwich in London, and the guy I worked for, I don't even know if he's still about, but the guy I worked for, he was a lovely bloke. He really was a lovely bloke. And the guy that taught me, his name was Mick, and my God, could he he was a grafter, mate. He was a proper grafter and a real lovely bloke. Believe it or not, it's where I first met my wife. So I didn't realise she was about to be my wife, or we'd have anything along them lines, funny enough. We'd even go that way. I was still young, and when I was young and just a bad little kid, yeah, well, yeah. She used to work in the offices opposite the foundry, one of the foundries I used to work in. Funny enough, she remembers me better than I remember her, but there you go. I don't remember a lot from them days. They were hedonistic for me. Very hedonistic. So yeah. We were all young and stupid once. So yeah, I had I worked in in several foundries up and down. I used to work one foundry. I got to the stage where I was working one foundry until their work ran out, and then I'd go and work for another foundry until the work ran out there, and then I'd go and work another foundry until the work ran out there. I worked everywhere. South London, all of South London, some of East London, West London, and North London foundries. I worked a few, piece working out my way along, but there you go. That was just the way it was back then. You worked until there were no work to be done, and then you moved on. It was a much more civilised way of working actually than it is today, because I decided where and when I wanted to work really. Nowadays it's different. It's more difficult for the kids. I know that. See it every day. And with the emasculation of the unions, I can't see it getting any better, but although after this, who knows, maybe things will change for the better. What do you reckon? Who knows? I hope so. I'm about to see it as well, but that I'll be up to whether or not I'll get through this unscathed. When I had a lurgy earlier on in the year, and now they're saying that could have been the COVID thing. I don't know, I doubt it, because I get pneumonia if I get a cold, so if I'd have had that, I think I'd have been a lot worse. So yeah, we'll see. When I'm doing this, what I'm doing is I'm leaving a couple of wider breaks. These are because, you know, on most ships there was boarding areas, and there'd be some spars that you could take out, or a gate that you could move at the side of the boat. Well, that's what I'm assuming there was, because that's what I'm putting in. Huh. No, to be quite honest, there was, but it's only just to give me some breaks and make it look pretty, really. I'm not. So I'll get this one in, and that'll be one side done, and I'll show you what it looks like with all these little bits of matchstick. And all I've done is literally blob, stick, blob, stick, blob, stick. Yeah. Yeah, I got another one there. That'll do. The fun will be coming when I come to paint this. But anyway, there you go. See, all I've done is matchsticked all the way around there, leaving a wider gap here and a wider gap here, and I'll match that on the other side for aesthetics. But hey, that's what I've done there. So, done that, yes? Do you know what? I'm not sure, but I should have somewhere some sandpaper. It's alright if I haven't got sandpaper. These are great. These sandy things, they're perfect for sanding this type of stuff. It's easy. And the reason I want it is because I'm going to what I need is, now the beautiful thing about these is if you get them wet, you can bend them. If you get them hot and wet, which I'm about to in my cuppa. So yeah, so I'm stuck one in there. Give it a little bit of a soak in some warm water or tea at the moment. I'm not too worried. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend it slightly with my finger. And you see, it's starting to, well, it takes a little bit longer than that. Sometimes just chewing the bucket does it. So yeah, and you get to put a little kink in it. That's all I want to do, is put a little kink in it. I'm glad at the moment because I don't need a big kink, because of course once I've got my kink that I want, then I'm going to round it off so that, you know, it kind of matches the other end. I'm not too worried if it's a bit rough, because the whole thing's a bit rough, to be quite honest, but that doesn't matter because I want a rough shit, rough and tumble. And then I need to add to that. Try and keep it away from your fingers, because my god does that sting. Oh, it does help if you put it the right way around, Jeffrey. And this will be there, just like that. Do you know what? You are not playing the game. Let me try again. Let's just warm that up and then try again. Right, putting another blob on like that. Spin it. Stick it. You might find that some of these sticks are shorter or taller than the others. No you don't. And aren't playing the game. That's alright, you can fill the gap if you're clever. A little bit. Glue on the outside. There we go. There we go. So all I've done is, now I've added the first spar, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. And that's with them, I don't know, food outlet coffee stirrers. You can buy packs of them for pennies, when this quarantine's over, you'll be able to get them by the bucket load. But I have a lot of friends who go, I found this, thought you might use it and make something from it. And I'm like, oh, thank you very much. And then they'll give me a pocket full of these things. You know, I don't know where they've got them, because I'm not a big fast food eater, but I have it on good authority that that's where they get them. They get them from fast food outlets, which is, you know, nice that they think of me, to be fair. But you know, upcycling, I think they call it. I don't know, but I do. I get people turn up and they'll give me a fistful of little plastic odds and ends. You know, someone turned up the other day, before the quarantine. I say the other day. The other day can be any time between now and 2 years ago. But they turned up and they gave me a little tub of tiny little circular beads. They're not. They're sort of. Well, I'll show you in a minute. And yeah, they gave me these beads that they'd saved, and what they were originally, I have no idea, or where they got them, or what they were used for, because they're not what you'd call fashion beads or anything like that. You know, they're more like well, they're more like something that were added to a product, if you like. I don't know, maybe they're washers or something like that. You know, like the kind of stand-up washers that you get in computers and stuff like that. I think they might have been them, or they might be beads. I don't know. I want to pick them up and show you, because yeah, it's just odd what they are. I don't know what they come from, but people collect the oddest stuff for me. The oddest little knickknacks, the oddest little bits. You know, so this is the pot that I was given, and this is what was inside. I'm going to put it on the end of my knife so that I can hold it up to the camera a little easier and you can see it a little better. These. Oh, try again. You know what? Just for the glue it there. There you go. See that? So if you've got any idea what these are, you know, you can let me know. But I'm going to use them. I'll find a use for them. But people do this to me. They give me little bits of stuff. You know, a friend of mine was into e-cigs, the ones that look like cigarettes, and the little rubber bits that come off the end of those little e-cigs. I've got a pot of them somewhere. I've actually found them really useful. If I'm putting a screw into something and I want to seal the area around that screw so that water doesn't get in, they're perfect for it. They're absolutely perfect for it. And they're the ends, little rubber end caps off of e-cigarettes. You know, so I found a use for them. People know I find a use for these little knick-knack things, and it drives my wife potty because I've got a house full of and mainly from people that have said, oh, I collected all these things, maybe you can use them. Oh, I'll find a use for them, and if I can't, I'll bin them. But thank you for saving them for me. It's very kind of you. And yeah, so I end up with all sorts of knickknacks and whatnots, which is great. You know, I love the fact that people think of me in that way. It's really nice. And you know, I think it's beautiful that they do, and I don't begrudge it, I really don't. But yeah, people pick up little bits of stuff and they'll just turn up with it on odd occasions and say, yeah, Jeff, can you use these? So I don't know, but I'll definitely give it a good Oxford try. So yeah, there you go. So I don't throw things away, which is great for me, not so great for my wife when she's trying to keep a tidy home. It's not really that great, because I also need to keep a tidy home so that we've got access for stuff and whatever, but you know, but it's lovely that they do it. It's lovely that they think of me when they're doing it as well. And I honestly think it's amazing that people would. But yeah, got gizmos and gadgets aplenty. But yeah, and a lot of bits that you find are those little bits that get stuck in odds and sods drawers. There's always an odds and sods drawer in somebody's house, you know, somewhere where people throw odd screws, washers, bits of plastic that they got it in their head that one day they might use it or they might need it for something. Well, I'm that person. I know quite a few people that are like, if I haven't used it in a month, it gets binned, and I'm like, what are you all about? The best stuff is the antique stuff. Don't throw it out. But yeah, I know people like that, and they honestly do, and their homes are immaculate, and I love them. I'm scared to go in them because I'm a messy bugger at the best of times, but they are immaculate, you know. And I can appreciate the minimalist thing, but at the same token, it's not for me. It really isn't for me. Oh my word, no. I wouldn't be able to do half of this stuff if I was a minimalist. Ah. But it's good fun, nonetheless. Yeah. There used to be a couple we used to go and visit on a regular basis. She was a minimalist. She didn't like tot or tat or anything else, and her kitchen was immaculate. Everything was immaculate. And me being me, took great delight in every time I went round there picking the biggest plate, because we've been going around there so long, I was making my own cuppers around there. Because the attitude was, well, you know where the kettle is, and you know what? It's the first thing I look for in a house when I go visiting is, where's your kettle? Cool, kettle on. And yeah, so I used to go around her house and find the biggest plate she had in the cupboard. And though there was only 3 or 4 of us having a cuppa, and normally there was only 2 of us having tea, or 3 of us having tea, I would put a tea bag in 3 spots, the widest spots on the plate. And I used to say to her, I've started my tea bag mountain. She used to go, spare. Bless her, she used to go, spare. But I am a wind-up merchant, I must admit. And, you know, what's life without a giggle? I'll tell you what life is without a giggle. Bloody boring. So yeah, I used to go around and it still tickles me now. Yeah, it's a perfectly clean kitchen. I mean, you could eat off the floor. Matter of fact, you could eat off the floor in every room in her house, and they were carpeted. In a couple of them rooms, and you could still do it. I swear, if that house gets this COVID, it won't be through her. House proud, I've never met someone like her. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I'd be there, getting the biggest plate out, and if we had 3 or 4 cuppers around there, by the time I'd left, well, you can imagine, can't you? But she was lovely. Yeah. So yeah, it's a little insight to a bit of my psyche. If you didn't know by now, I'm a bit of a wind-up. Yeah. Oh, I could tell you stories. I could tell you stories. Here's a story for you. Way back, way back, when I lived in a tower block, one April Fool's Day, and we've just had April Fools, and I'm a big fan of April Fools, but this year I've been, you know, sensible. I haven't done it because there's only the wife to play the prank on, and to be honest, she's got enough stress on the plate at the moment. She doesn't need me being a silly ass. But yeah, here's one for you. And I had a friend I had a few friends in the tower block. I'm one of these people that I'll talk to anyone. That are on the bus, yeah, that's me. And if it isn't me, I'm the one talking to them. So yeah, can't help myself. I like people. It's one of my. They fascinate me. People fascinate me. The things people do and get up to and think, you know, they fascinate me, people. I'm a firm believer that everyone's entitled to their opinion, no matter how demented or deranged. As long as they take responsibility for that opinion, I've got no problem with it. Yeah, so I lived in this tower block coming up to April Fool's Day, and it was the night before. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning. As I said, I was young and stupid and quite hedonistic at the time. And downstairs of this block of flats, they were doing some building work, so I pinched a couple of dozen breeze blocks. I think there was about 16, 18 breeze blocks. I pinched, and some quick drying cement. And I bricked my mate in to his flat at 4 o'clock in the morning. Giggling all the time I was doing it. In my defence, I'd had a drink. I might have had 2, but I bricked him in, leaving one breeze block out about at your head height. I left one brick out so that in the morning, because I knew he gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning because he goes to work or whatever, and I knew he used to get up at 6, and the first thing he'd do is go and check his mail or whatever. He'd be at the front door, you'd hear him first thing in the morning. But unbeknown to me, this was his day off. I'm waiting for him. By about 6:30, I was asleep, snoring, soundo, leant against this wall I'd built. And the first thing I knew about him coming to the door, because my plan was he'd come to the window, he'd open the door, and there'd be his face, and I'd get a photo of his face. As he opened the door and realised he'd been bricked in. No, I fell asleep. This cement dried solid, and I mean solid. And he didn't come to the door till about 9:30 when I woke up, when the postman opened the door to walk onto the floor, and the next thing I heard was, "What the f-?" Which was my mate coming out, and I went, "Ah, April Fools!" And he went, "Ah, very big joke. Come on, let's get these things down." And oh my god, oh my god, it took us about 3 hours to hammer him out, because, well, hammer and chisel him out, and all we had was what I could get hold of, and I got hold of this little hammer because I couldn't find a big hammer, and whatever utensils he had in the house, which weren't a lot because he wasn't a big DIYer. And it took us about 3 hours to dismantle this wall and get him out. So anyway, long story short, cut to about 3 months later. I was going away for a week, and I said to my mate, "Will you look after my flat for me?" And he went, "Yeah, of course." Now, we'd been pulling practical jokes upon each other all the time since that day. It was great fun, I must admit. He got me a few crackers, but anyway. I comes home after this holiday that I had. I don't think I was holidaying, actually. I think I was working away, but anyway. I come back and I open my front door, and now I had a UV light as a strip light in my hallway, because I had a spare UV light hanging about when the bulb went, so I just stripped out the old light fitting for the UV lamp. As I said, hedonistic days, and so I've got a UV lamp in the hallway. My mate had taken full advantage of that UV lamp by covering my hallway carpet, which was basically a runner. It wasn't a full carpet, it was a runner. Covering my runner, which went sort of the length of my little hallway, in mustard and crisp seeds. So I came back to a lawn in my hallway. Oh, as I said, brilliant times, good giggles. Very hedonistic days. And yeah, so, and I kept it. I actually kept it. I kept my lawn. I used to invite people in to come run barefoot through my lawn in the hallway. I told you I was a wind up. Anyway, and the only time I actually, and that carpet had to be thrown out by a shovel. I had to shovel it out. It was like into a black bag, because yeah. And the only reason it went was because downstairs was complaining that her ceiling was becoming a bit dark. So yeah, so I ended up yeah, I ended up getting shot of it. But yeah, I did. But yeah, and our pranks didn't stop there. They carried on. They got more and more ridiculous as time went on. But that one, that definitely, that was my best, or his best prank on me. I'm not sure whether he's still about, actually. I haven't spoken to him in years. Well, when we moved away from London, we lost touch, which was a shame. He's a really nice kid. I say that, I was a nice kid at the time as well. Well, course I'm going to tell you that, but yeah, fun times, good days. So yeah, so there you go, just to give you a little insight into the sanity that is me. Of course, I brought my brand of humour to Lincolnshire, and the locals are just about getting used to me now. I've only been here 20 years. 23 years, something like that. But yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, that's me. Well, anyway, if I look at the time, it's coming up to 55 minutes. So you won't be around much more longer. Not that I don't want you to be around much longer. I do want you to be around. It's just that my video will only take up to an hour of filming, and yeah, we're at that stage where that hour is very much going to come to a close very soon. So without further ado, I shall jog on with this. And see if I can at least get why. Try not to put your fingers on the glue. It's warm. But yeah, I'm just gonna try and finish this off as quickly as I can before the time runs out, so that you can at least see the progress as I'm doing it. Now, if you can't get these little sticks, any sticks will do it. You could literally use anything to do that. You could use more matchsticks if you wished. It's not a big issue. At the end of the day, you can put as much or as little effort into this as you want. It's, you know, it's not a competition. It's something to break up the boredom of being on lockdown, which, you know, you've got to admit it's pretty boring at times. So yeah, that's my plan. Well, my plan anyway. I'm gonna see if, yeah, that's roughly about right actually. Now, I was going to soak it and bend it a little like I did the other one, but the other one straightened out when it dried out, and to be quite honest, in this video I haven't got time to do it properly. Normally I'd do it in a hot cuppa and leave them in there until I was ready, or at least in some hot water, and leave them in there until I was ready to bend them to my wheel, and then I'd peg them into that shape. But you know, thankfully this is a pretty square bottomed boat, a square shaped boat. Oh, ow, ee, ow, ee, ow, ee. Come on, thank you. And it is what it is. So, and I'm not too worried about how fussy I'm doing it, but you can take your time. You can take more time over it than I am. And even though I'm doing this roughly, the effect is quite, let's just say you can hide a lot of a lot of mistakes once you start painting and adding other bits, because people will be too busy, believe it or not, marvelling over the fact that you took time to do it, than they will over the bits that don't exactly look right. Unless of course you meet up with someone who knows what shit looks like in real life, in which case, yeah, well, you just tell them you're not doing historicals, you're doing for funds. Although you can, there's nothing stopping you actually researching, seeing where each spar went and everything else, measuring it down, making your wood and your metal match where it needs to match, and doing a historical build. There's nothing stopping you doing that. But me, I'm all about busting boredom, and I'm not too worried about history. There you go. There you go. I've made a start. What do you think? Well, that's my lot for today. I hope you've enjoyed my banter and my stories. Be good to each other. Be good to Be good to each other. Stay safe. I love you all. See you tomorrow.